All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Shout out to our guy Jimmy Burrow for stopping in here week of the AFC title game as Joe and the boys taking on Kansas City this Sunday. Going to be fun to watch them. Speaking of Joe Schwartz, the assistant director of basketball operations over with the LSU women's basketball team, and they got back late last night. Sounds like they were lucky to get back alive as the Tigers beat up on Alabama. Anytime LSU can beat Alabama, it's always a good thing. Anytime you can destroy Alabama, it's even better, and that's what they did last night. 89-51. Angel Reese made some history. She got her 20th double-double of the season, snapping a record held by Sylvia Fowles within the LSU women's program, which is basketball royalty around here. We welcome in Joe Schwartz to the conversation as he's in studio with us. What a great move, bro. I know it was late last night. Appreciate you waking up with us. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Thank y'all for having me. It was a late night, but I'm used to those and just glad we made it home safe. A little bumpy, but we're here.
Cool night for you, though, right? Went home?
Mom's home. Mom's from Alabama. Went to high school in Alabama. Went to college at Alabama. Her brother went there. Her sister went there. So it was a nice little beatdown for Mom's team.
That's right.
But I know she's happy. She's a big LSU women's basketball supporter, and anytime the baby's doing good, she's happy.
That number is growing of LSU women's basketball supporters. I'd imagine when y'all tip it off against Monday night against Tennessee that this thing's going to probably be a hard sellout. I'd anticipate probably 14,000 plus in that arena. What have you felt the buzz this season kind of boiling with the program?
Definitely. I think the buzz really since the end of last year with those two tournament games that we were able to host at home really started to spark a lot of interest for people who had never been to a game before. We've sold more season tickets than we did last year. But as people are going to start to see on social media this week and as they'll start to hear on TV and radio, whatever, this isn't a desperate plea to get people to come watch one game against Tennessee. It's going to be a big game. We want to sell it out, but this is a chance to showcase some great women's basketball. I mean, last night we go on the road to a pretty hostile environment. LSU fans showed out. It was incredible. We win by 38 and can't ask for much more, but biggest message is come see a special product on the court Monday night. I mean, there's not many tickets left. I think we've got less than 3,000 left. So buy tickets for family, friends. If you want to get a group together, I think tickets today are 20% off since we're 20-0. They're only like $5. So coach has been on us to get the tickets sold. But it's not like we're trying to get butts in the seats. Our attendance has been phenomenal. There's other programs in the country right now that are struggling to get people in the stands. But it's just a chance to see some good basketball.
Can you give me some perspective on Angel Reese? I mean, this feels like we're witnessing something that we'll rarely ever see.
Definitely. It's something that I've never seen, and I've played with a lot of good players when I was in college. But she's a very, very special kid, and it's on and off the court. Mm-hmm. She's great in the locker room. She's one of our captains, and just to see what she's able to do on the court night in and night out. And there's nights where she might not have a great shooting night, but she's going to make sure she goes and gets every rebound. Last night, they were very physical with her early in the game to a point where they probably wanted her to retaliate and maybe pick up a cheap one. Mm-hmm. And she picked up one early, but that's been the coolest thing about Angel is her ability to stay composed, which maybe last year at Maryland she wasn't able to do. She didn't play as many minutes at Maryland last year because she was always in foul trouble. So it's been cool to see Angel's ability to keep a cool head in a hot game. And it's only going to get chippier as we progress through the SEC season and into the NCAA tournament. She's got to be able to keep a cool head.
I thought your defense last night was really impressive. I thought your defense against Arkansas was maybe spotty at times, but I thought it was the difference at the end.
That's our backbone, defense and rebounding. And last night, I mean, Alabama makes 10 threes a game. They're a team that can really light it up if you don't guard. But I think our physicality and our quickness on the perimeter and our ability for our bigs to help on drives, that really set the tone and took Alabama out of their game. I mean, there were different possessions when we're on the bench and there's 12, 10, 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and Alabama's not even into their offense. They don't know what they're doing. They're scrambling, trying to get any sort of shot off. And I think that's just a testament to how hard of defense we play and how much we emphasize defense, because there's nights where we're not going to be able to make a lot of shots and we may not shoot a high percentage, but you're not going to win every game on offense. You're going to win games on defense. And that was the case in the Arkansas game. We were scoring it just fine, but our defense was really good, and Arkansas just happened to shoot 58% in the second half, and we were guarding them. They were just making shots. So there's nights that our defense may be on and teams are going to make shots, but when we limit teams to one shot and then get out and go in transition, we could be really dangerous.
The team looks like they have great chemistry. Looks like they are well meshed together. Was there ever concern about that with the transfer portal and people returning and recruiting classes and all that stuff?
I think there always is. When you have 9 new players, which is what we have this year, from coming off a team last year that had 5 seniors that had been here for a while and kind of left their mark. But I think from mid-September, early October, we really made it a point of emphasis. Like, the only way that we're going to be successful is if we all gel together. And you can say that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's the buy-in that has been the most impressive. You've got kids from all over the world, really. With Poa from Australia, and then you've got kids from the East Coast. You've got kids from the South. So, and that have all been at different programs, whether it's the D1 level or JUCO. They all come from different coaching styles, and their ability to listen to what Coach Mulkey has to say and buy into what our team's trying to do and help build this culture, because this isn't a one-year deal. This is something that we're trying to build long-term. This is going to be recruiting class after recruiting class, transfer portal after transfer portal, to build kind of a monster. And the monster isn't only the product on the court. It's the fans in the stands. It's the buzz around the community. And I think that's been the most impressive thing to see. I think last year you started to see it with the students. Students were like, oh, well, we've got a new women's basketball coach in town, new sheriff in town, Kramer Robertson's mom. We know what he did at Alex Box, but what's she going to be able to do at the PMAC? And slowly that student section started to build. And then last year for those 2 NCAA tournament games, the student section was really rocking. And then you kind of hit a lull at the beginning of the season. You build it back up, and then Christmas break happens. All the students go home. So you struggle to get students at the games over the break. But then that Arkansas game, you look up and the student section's almost sold out.
Yeah.
And word around town is the student section will be rocking for that Tennessee game. So there's a lot of buzz on and off the court, and the chemistry's been great. And I think it's cool now for our girls is they're starting to gel as a group. They're also able to branch out and gel into the community and gel into the student section and become one with LSU's fan base.
Right.
So
you knew her in Waco, right? When you were at Baylor. Give me what is this? How has she gotten this momentum, this train moving? It's such a fast pace in just 16 months in the direction that it is. You're a top 5 program. You're probably a top 3 program when the new rankings come out. This is the full Mulkey effect that LSU women's basketball is experiencing, right?
I think the thing that people don't know about Coach Mulkey is she's very family oriented. She runs a very tight ship. She has high expectations for her people, but she doesn't have much turnover in her staff. Johnny's been with her. Johnny, who's our head Dobo, he's been with Kim for 23 years. Jennifer's been with her 20-plus years. Kaylin and Daphne are pushing 9, 10-plus years. Jordan's been with her 8 or 9. So you're seeing all these people on staff that have been with her for a long time. Then you add someone like Bob Starkey, who's been at LSU for 25 years, and then decided he wanted to come back home. Coach Reese, he's the best recruiter in the country, without a doubt. And you add someone like that, and then I just get to work with them every day. And
Right.
I'm really spoiled because I haven't gotten to experience what a lot of these coaches have. They've been to Final Fours. They've won national championships. They know how to be successful. They know how to sign top recruiting classes. But being year 2, I think you see how big of an impact one person can have on a program. And she built a monster at Baylor. There's no doubt about it. And I think I sent it yesterday to her. Yesterday was the first time in 47 years that a team from the state of Texas was not in the top 25. Wow. So you're telling me that she took a program that won 9 ball games 2 years ago. We're 20-0 right now. You've got all the buzz in the state of Louisiana, and you've put kind of the nation on notice. One person has a pretty big impact.
For sure. Can you describe next year's recruiting class?
Mm-hmm.
How good they are?
Yeah.
I mean, no, but I mean, like, it's embarrassing how good they are, right?
Right. And it's once again, it's very special because you got the number 1 player in the country, just happens to be from the state of Louisiana. And you want to keep that type of talent in this state. And Michaela's a girl that she could probably play significant minutes on this year's team, which is scary because we've got a very, very good team this year. She's a special kid, comes from a great family. And then you've got the two kids from the Webb School, Angelica and Aaliyah, who Angelica has really been playing well at the guard position. Then Aaliyah's.
I saw a full court bounce pass she made the other day, Coach.
Yep.
It was like Chris Paul-esque.
Yeah. No, she's the real deal. And Aaliyah, she's one that number 1 post player in the country. And she's got great size. She's going to get here and be able to play with Angel for at least a year, hopefully 2. And then Janae, a big guard, tall, lanky, can shoot it. So we've got a special class, and we might not be done. You never know. Wow. We could add a few more pieces.
Michaela she's the first to come through here that's been ranked that high since Simone. Mm-hmm. And Simone created a buzz around this community and program that I think, forever will live on. Mm-hmm. What's it like recruiting a player of that caliber and then ultimately landing somebody like that?
Well, it starts with the relationships you build with them when they're really young. And Coach was able to build a relationship with Michaela when she was young, and not sure if she would have gone to Baylor if Coach was still at Baylor, but I think it was kind of a full circle moment, and I'm not sure if the picture's even gotten out yet, but when Simone was giving her speech before the statue unveiling, there was a little reception in our practice facility, and Michaela and her family kind of had walked in, and Coach Mulkey made it very clear that she didn't want to be front and center for that. She was not the coach when Simone was there. Coach Starkey was on staff, so she asked Bob to give some remarks and talk about Simone. But it was really cool to see Michaela literally sit on Coach Mulkey's lap or in a chair very close to Coach Mulkey's lap, and just the two of them being able to share that moment, almost like this could be you. You are the in-state local kid that could do something really special here. I mean, she just scored her 2,000th point up at Parkway. She's had a great high school career. Hoping she makes a deep run in the playoffs, but we're ready to have her. Yeah. We cannot wait for her to be in that purple and gold and part of this program.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch. Is there any do you feel the town buzzing about this South Carolina road trip, or is that too far to look ahead for somebody on staff?
You've got to look ahead. It's hard not to. It's human nature to see what lies ahead. Everyone's talking about it. We're the only 2 teams left in the NCAA that are undefeated. But you got to take it one game at a time. And like I texted you last week, I didn't want to come on the show unless we beat Bama because that was the most important game. Now, most important game's Tennessee. And we all know what lies ahead. Super Bowl Sunday, ESPN game, but it's just another game. Yeah. And I think we've got some buses that are planning on going up there. We're taking a lot of fans. It's going to be a hostile environment, but at the end of the day, it's another game. Yeah. And we'll have a game plan for it, but no doubt there's some buzz. And we've had that date circled, but yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless we take care of business in the games leading up to that.
It's a good answer, young coach. It's how much is the experience factor for you in working in this program can you feel day in, day out?
It's a bit overwhelming. It was fun because, well, it wasn't fun, the outcome. Tennessee came to town and beat our men's team on Saturday, but I played for Coach Barnes my freshman year at Texas.
Wow.
And got to spend some time with him after the game and just kind of reminisce on some things because he got fired after my freshman year, and we kept in touch via text, and call, whatever. But last year was the first time I had seen him since he got fired when we went up to Knoxville. So just getting to talk to him and continuing that relationship because he's been a mentor of mine kind of from a distance, but I got a reassuring text from him the other night that told me that I'm working for the right person and getting to learn from Coach Mulkey every day. And like I said, she holds us to a very high standard, and accountability is probably the most important thing with her. It's a lot because I am the youngest one on the staff, but getting to learn from a Hall of Famer and someone who has been to the top as a player, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, as an Olympian, she's done it. She's done it all, and there's no one else in this industry that I'd want to work for. And the fact that I'm getting to experience it in her home state, that makes it even more special. Because living in Waco, growing up around her, growing up with Kramer, my brother and Kramer and all our friends, we all played sports together. We always, she's Kim Mulkey. I've been at all three of her Final Fours, all three of her national championships. Sorry. So I've gotten to witness it, kind of on the outside looking in. But now that I get to be a part of it every day and kind of see how it runs, it's making the experience very special.
Yeah. Keep them hot, Coach. Y'all are on a tear. 20-0 right now after last night's win over Alabama. They will host Tennessee on Monday night in the Maravich Center, what is set to be a very incredible environment. Get your tickets down because they will not last long. Joe Schwartz, who's the Assistant Director of Basketball Ops over with LSU Women's Basketball, with this, the brand is on fire right now. It's great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank y'all for having me. Let's rock out on Monday night. National audience. I think it's an ESPN2 game.
Yep.
And let's just keep that the best home court in the country at the PMAC.
We will be back and close it out here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.